Can this new Demon Slayer game compete with Project Slayers? There are multiple new Demon Slayer games in development right now, but there is one that has stuck out to me and the others in the community. Today we discuss Slayer's Retribution and see if it can compete with Project Slayer's the most popular Roblox Demon Slayer game. Without further ado, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's get straight into this discussion. So a few days ago, Kit, the owner for Slayer's Retribution, dropped a teaser for the game. The interesting thing about Slayer's Retribution is that it does indeed have talented devs on board, like Rel Hawk, a Rel development designer, who if I'm not mistaken makes the hair and clothes for the game, and Rel Sin, one half of the Rel brothers. He is also a senior overseer for the game and provides mentorship over the team. No, this game is not a Rel game. It's not Rel Slayer, so don't get that mistaken. So this game is definitely connected with the right people. I also have an exclusive information on the game that I will provide to you as well during this video. Just a disclaimer, I will not, and I repeat, I will not be overhyping in this video, but giving you basic information and a background on the game. I believe overhyping is harmful to a game's success, especially early on. But let's get back to the teaser. So in the first part, we see the basic ones for combat and such. Keep in mind that this game is in very early stages of development. Now this game will be going for a more realistic take on the Demon Slayer genre. It's a lot different from Project Slayers. I mean, there's even a bit of blood from when you swing your sword, and even the speed of your sword. I personally like this because most Demon Slayer games don't actually feel realistic, and I feel like more should go for that realistic feel, and usually have you swinging around your sword like it's paper or something. We also see that the GUI, which not gonna lie is a bit off-putting, but the devs have said they're going to rework this as well. This game has said to have a very interesting sword stance mechanic that is inspired by the PlayStation exclusive game Ghost of Tsushima, a samurai game that has been said to be one of the main inspirations for this game, along with Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild. Both of these games have very interesting concepts I hope to see in this game. So in this game, there's going to be different sword stances with their own strengths and weaknesses, as well as opposed to having just one in one combat style, and the combat will be diverse depending on which weapon stance you choose. This is exactly like Ghost of Tsushima, where there's also different sword stances as well, which help you in different situations in the game. The reason they are taking inspiration from off the platform is because most Demon Slayer games on the platform, like they said in the teaser, are mostly uninspired copies of each other and other games, which can in turn makes them miss out on a lot of potential great gameplay features, which is why most Demon Slayer games are bad. One important detail I like in the teaser is the showcase of hair movement, which if you remember was also in Rel C's. Rel Hawk is definitely cooking up for sure. The clothes also look detailed and clean and doesn't look like it's made out of plastic material like other games. So back to the tease, another thing we see is the inclusion of see-through world and how it will work in the game. So instead of it being useless like in Wisteria 2, we actually see it having an interesting concept. Demons in this game will have a feature called neck vulnerability. You can have a chance to one-shot kill a demon if their neck vulnerability is low enough, and an animation will also play where the demon does a chance to dodge the mechanic as well. This is where the see-through world mechanic actually comes in play. You can actually see the neck vulnerability of other demons just like the Slayers in the show. A very interesting concept I like to see in more Demon Slayer games. During this section, we hear an important progression note from the lead developer. Kit states that this game will not be having levels, but instead will be skill based. I know them deep woken players out there are shaking, I'm not gonna lie. It is also confirmed that different Nichiren's and breathings are planned to have different stances as well to diversify the combat even further. The next thing we hear about is the community tournaments for Hashira and I assume upper and lower moons. Kit states that these events will be happening every other week, where there will be likely PvP tournaments to determine who would be labeled an upper or lower moon and Hashira rank. I think this is a very good way to encouraging players to get better at the PvP of your game, since they can compete for strong rankings among their peers, which will have buffs. This is probably in game since you must be very strong and skillful. In this teaser, you also see a first look at water breathing. We also get a glimpse of the effects as well, which in my opinion they look good since they're very similar to the show. You also hear the inclusion of a posture system that will probably be similar to the one in Sekiro or Ghost of Tsushima, so that infinite parrying and blocking are impossible within the combat. The map that is shown in the teaser is a placeholder. Do see that they might be going for a more immersive setting similar to the show. They seem to be going for a more realistic feel to the game entirely, which I think is definitely the right move. Then we see combat, which I can assume is being reworked, probably because the game is in super early development, so it does indeed look kind of clunky in the teaser, but we see the parry system and the way the moves work. Kit has stated that the stun wasn't programmed yet, so this probably why it may look a bit stiff. They do get into a lot of pairing sequences, but you can break them with the breathing skills of your own. M1s will also be slower for reaction time during these sequences, but I believe they should be increased to be a little bit faster. The breathing skills in general have different properties. In this game, instead of just being combo extenders or enders, you can actually execute them as well. Kit stated to be able to execute efficiently in this game, you will have to make sure your sword is sharpened, just like the Tundra on the show, since the sword is always becoming dual from destroying demons. They also are thinking about potentially adding a hunger system in wildlife, which is definitely going to make the game super immersive and definitely going to amplify the realistic feeling of the game. I think the most important detail of them all is the inclusion of random NPC interactions, where there will be programmed immersive NPCs that you will either have to save or have to fight with a group of people and hold off some demons. They also confirmed that the game will have a reputation system where there could be rogues, slayers, and demons similar to Kokoshiba. You will be able to create your clan in this game, and there will be PvP tournaments against the slayer and demons of the game. Progression in this game will be storyline based, as confirmed by the lead developer. Storyline will be updated alongside the updates of the game that the game will be having. Now onto some exclusive information I gained from the dev Q&A in the conversation with the lead developer Kit himself. The small updates will aim to be bi-weekly, but major updates will probably take longer. The game will probably be confirmed to have different customization options for your character, and your Slayer Corp uniform will not just be stuck onto you like other games. Certain breathers will require special weapons to use. Certain moves will have cutscenes to them, but we don't know yet if they will be overbearing. The game is also potentially going to be having an in-depth exploration system where certain items will be manually placed around the map to encourage the player to go out and explore. AI will be very player-like, and probably therefore the bosses will be harder in turn. Progression will be very similar to Breath of the Wild, where it's not linear and they're straightforward, and you can do all types of things to progress your character and grow a little bit stronger. Quests will feel like their own little story as well. Map is going to be big and have realistic terrain, but the lead dev has stated that he wants to make teleporters to make it easier to get around the map, probably similar to Project Slayers. And the second teaser of the game is confirmed to be showcasing 4 breathing styles alongside progression, details, AI, and character customization. Breathing trainings will work a little bit differently, whether it be more like Demonfall, where it's actually relevant to the breathing style. The game wants you to have a solid selection of breathings and BDAs on release. I'm not going to tell you which ones. Testing information is as follows. It will work in 3 waves. In order to try out the game, testers will have to finish finding all the bugs first, and then the waves will eventually start happening. Wave 1 can already play the game in its early stages, but in order to get into a wave, you must subscribe to the server subscription in the Discord, and all proceeds from this will be going back into the game as confirmed by the lead developer. One thing I want to see in this game, since it's inspired by Ghost of Tsushima, is the stealth system of that game and the outpost of the demons in this game to be similar to that game, where there's multiple areas of entry and ways to execute your enemies. I also want to see the game have the creativity of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and maybe even add some of their puzzles to the game for items. But hey, the possibilities are endless with this game. I personally think that if all these concepts are truly going to be being added to the game, we can see this game compete with Project Slayers. The thing is, will they be properly implemented into this game? But again, this game is in very early development, so I won't overhype it for its own good. But that's just some exclusive information I just know about the game right now, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. But if you guys enjoyed this video and you are interested in seeing more from this game, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.